You're plugged in to the Real Life Show with your host, Malichi Male.
And co-host, Catherine Martins.
Where real life issues meet real life solutions. Problems are not solitary things. Someone has been through what you're going through. So let's talk about real life.
How you doing, Pamela?
Good, you?
Okay, I'm fantastic. Now, I want you to take me back to the very beginning. I'm talking about before this beautiful, lovely child was even born.
Okay.
Okay, what was, at that particular time, did you even think of Down syndrome, or was it even a thought in your head?
Yeah, it really wasn't. I thought I knew what Down syndrome was at the time. I mean, I knew basic chromosomes and that kind of thing, but I really didn't know what Down syndrome was. And when we decided to start having a family, I had Emma, and then I got pregnant with her, and we decided to do the prenatal testing. And it kind of came up that I had a higher chance of having a child with Down syndrome.
Okay.
And we ended up not finding out before she was born if she did or didn't for sure. I thought that I would just leave it up to God to decide whether I would have a child with Down syndrome or not.
Okay.
And when she was born, that's kind of when we found out for sure.
Wow.
Pretty much right away, as you could tell, her eyes, her beautiful almond-shaped eyes, that she had Down syndrome.
Okay.
So at first it was hard, and I think I speak for a lot of people that you kind of go through a grieving process almost, that you picture in your head what your life is going to be like, and it kind of changes. And you just have to kind of take a moment to, allow yourself to be sad and go through all those emotions. And, and it didn't take long. You find out that it's actually not such a bad thing.
Yeah.
And you see how much joy that she brings, and that she's actually not very different from, other children. She has the same likes and dislikes, and she enjoys the same things. And, and she smiles and she hugs and, all those things. So it's been really nice. It's really opened up my eyes, and I've learned so much.
And so you find the doctors do that test.
Yes.
Okay.
We decided to do the prenatal testing.
Okay. And you realize there's a possibility.
There was a possibility. I had a 1 in 55 chance.
1 in 55.
1 in 55. Yeah.
So did your brain say, you know what, that this is a possibility, or this is not gonna be us?
You know what? I was in denial for sure.
Yeah.
I thought, I was in my 20s. I thought that Down syndrome was only something that to people who were older, because of statistics. Usually it's women who are 40 years or older.
Yeah.
So I thought, I'm only 28 years old, and it's not going to happen to me. It's probably just a false positive. And then the doctor, they gave me the option for amniocentesis to find out 100%.
Yeah.
And I kind of had to make the decision, is finding out going to change the outcome?
Yes.
Yes. And being me, I decided not to, because I knew I'd overthink it.
Okay.
And that no matter what, I was going to keep this baby. So whether she had Down syndrome or not, I was keeping my baby, because I love my baby. It was pointless to know for me. So.
Okay. So one thing you did say is that you did go through that grieving period in the beginning.
Yeah.
That's like grieving period, and it's very important that you say that, because it's okay to go through that.
Absolutely. And I tell every new mother, every new father, every new parent that is okay. I felt guilty for so long for feeling sad about it.
Yeah.
And you don't have to feel guilty about it. It's totally normal
Yes.
It's totally something you're not expecting. So it's okay to grieve that,
Absolutely.
It's okay. And I think a lot of that grieving comes from fear of the unknown. And like I said, after a little while, you start to realize that there was really nothing to be scared of at all.
She's a beautiful little angel.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. So now we're taking it back now. After the birth, she's 1 year old.
Yeah.
What was the first? If you can remember, what would you say the first incident when you realized, okay, this is gonna take? It might take a lot more work than I thought.
Oh, Yeah, you know, and I think that's another thing too, is you think, okay, you know, I'm gonna push my baby hard. She's gonna start sitting the same time. You know, typical children are gonna sit. They're gonna start walking and talking the same time. And I think when you're around other typical children, you see how that your child's behind, and sometimes it kind of hits you hard, but at the same time, I think you also learn to just kind of let go of those expectations of what she should be doing, and instead allowing her to go and be where she's supposed to be. You know, I worried so long.
That's okay. That's okay. Okay, we're back. You know what? You guys look better without the light anyways. So you realize she's not lining up with the other kids.
Yeah, you know, you go to the doctors and they give you that checklist. Is your daughter doing this? Is your child doing this? And you're answering more no's than yeses after a while. And I think that you start to come to the realization that your child's not going to be doing the same things as a typical child's going to be doing. And I think it's just a matter of adjusting your expectations and knowing that your child is eventually going to do those things in their own time, and that's okay.
And that's realistically the same for any child, period.
Absolutely.
Whether it be Down syndrome, not Down syndrome.
Yeah.
Like some kids, hey, they're not walking until 2 years old.
Exactly.
And all of a sudden they wake up one day and they're walking.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, some kids are not even talking until a few years later.
Yeah, it's all little stuff. You know, you don't have to worry about it.
Absolutely. and okay, so now 2 years old. 2 years old. Okay. So before she was 1 year old, did you get any like comments, negative things, negative attention towards her? People speaking negatively towards her?
Not so much when she was younger.
Yeah.
I feel a lot of people didn't really notice when she was younger that she had Down syndrome. Okay. I think people started noticing when she was probably around 18 months, I would say, is when people really started to notice. And definitely with having kind of a blog, it kind of puts you out there on social media, and you get comments and things like that, but also out and about in society as well. You know, I would say for the most part, 95% of people are amazing, and then you get every once in a while a person who has something negative to say. So we've definitely encountered that, and that was kind of shocking to me. But
are you okay with even slightly talking about the negative things?
I'll give you an example, and it's definitely not the worst thing that was said to me. I was approached by a lady in Shoppers Drug Mart, and she was probably about in her 70s, and she had seen that I had both girls, and she had commented that it was a good thing that I had a normal child at home to help me with Sophia. And I looked at her, I said, well, what's normal anyways? And I walked away because I really didn't know what else to say, you know? And it's, you know, you want to say something, but you also grow a thick skin, and you know, so you kind of let those things roll off your back. You don't let it, you know, consume you or take control of your thinking about your child and things like that, you know?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And now that lady as well, right? Do you think it was more so of just a raw ignorance, not fully understanding what she's saying, or
Sophia, no.
You know, or do you believe it was just hate and just?
I think it also goes with her generation. You know, she was probably about 70 years old, and I think maybe she did come from a semi-nice place in saying that, and it was just her delivery in saying it. I don't think deep down it was meant to be hateful, but it kind of came off as, you know, it's hurtful for sure.
Absolutely.
So.
Okay, absolutely. So now, she seems perfect 3-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah, like she's so beautiful. She's very attentive. She's amazing.
Yes, she is a spunky one. That's for sure. Anybody that knows her, she gets into everything. She has so much joy. Like she loves everybody. She gives everybody high fives, hugs, hellos, everything. So You know, she's really come a long way. So.
And the rest of your family, they were perfectly amazing with it, right? With the news.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think just initially with everybody, there was a bit of a shock initially.
Absolutely.
But no, they love her just like any other, you know. So.
And you know what? What I found amazing about this whole situation is that yourself and your husband, you guys, you know, looked at each other and probably said, "Hey, whatever."
Oh yeah, my husband was much better with it than I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he accepted it right from the beginning.
Oh man, that is so amazing.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times, see, that's, I don't know if you ever heard of the term equally yoked, right?
Okay, no.
Equally yoked meaning when you have two individuals on the same path with the same mentality, and it's usually used in a Christian mindset, and sometimes it's slightly sometimes it's slightly misunderstood, meaning to say that sometimes people assume equally yoked means I'm a Christian and you're a Christian, so we're equally yoked. But no, equally yoked means you got two individuals with the same mind frame and going the same direction, and could even, like, you didn't even have to look at your husband to say to yourself, you know what, I'm not even taking that test. You know, sorry. Yeah, you didn't even have to do that. Both you guys knew right away, regardless what the outcome is, you know, you plan to keep her.
Yeah, we made that decision together right from the beginning, no matter what.
Okay.
We're gonna love that baby.
Yeah, and you could definitely see just by how happy she is. She's just a big old joy, man. She's extremely happy. Now, you know, you were talking earlier before about you never really realized how ignorant people were, you know, and even some of the hate that people have, because you probably never experienced something like that, right?
No, not really.
So when you actually realize that, hold on one second, these people are evil, what came to your mind? Because it must have been a shock.
I think I didn't really realize that people still had that mindset, you know. We had kind of, you know, like I said, there's been quite a few things that have been said, a lot through social media, through my site, and you know, I've been told that I should have aborted her. I've been told that she was compared to a dog, basically the IQ of a dog, and things like that. And you know, like I said, you kind of have to grow a thick skin, but you kind of also wonder why people still think that way. Why can't people accept that different is okay?
Now,
you know?
Why do you think, if you had to guess, why would you think people have that type of mentality?
I'm not sure if it's the way they're raised, or you know, or what it is. I think sometimes people are just so set on a certain idea, and it's hard to change that idea that they have in their head. And like I said, I didn't know a lot about Down syndrome before I had her. You know, I had these notions in my head, not negative notions, but some people have these ideas in their head, maybe based on one experience or what somebody said, or maybe how they were raised. And you know, it's hard to kind of break certain people from those ideas.
Okay.
You know?
Now, what would you say to those people that may have a slight preconceived mentality about, you know, Down syndrome? Like, what are the typical things that people may assume that are not real facts?
Ooh, there's quite a few, but one is that, I think the biggest one is that they're always happy.
Okay.
People always say, oh, those kids are so happy, always happy. And generally she does have a happy disposition, but she also experiences other emotions as well, like anger and sadness and frustration. And she's locked in her bedroom right now. Can you go help your sister?
You wanna save your sister?
Can you go save your sister? Can you go help her?
You don't wanna save your sister?
Can you go get Sophia? Come on. That'd be nice.